1,000 miles from home on an open sea, with only you and your gun crews to rely on. Will you press shipmates to join you or do it alone? Prepare for action.
Can you spare some chain shot if you please, sir? Chain shot in the 24-pounder with a double charge of powder. Target their rigging.
Fire! Brace yourself against the enemy counterattacks. Lieutenant, repel those boarders. Sink the enemy while your own crew still draws breath and you are victorious. Clear the Decks, a 1 to 4 player cooperative card game depicting ship combat during the Age of Sail. Ahoy, my name is Chris Pinion and I am the creator of Clear the Decks. I hope my Kickstarter video got you interested in learning more about the game. Clear the Decks is a cooperative Age of Sail naval warfare game for 1 to 4 players, so it includes a solitaire version. It has 9 difficulty levels from a 2, 3, or 4 stacks of cards. So it can be played by families of up to 4, and it can be played with younger kids, easy games, all the way up to the most difficult, 4 adults. They can spend 60, 90 minutes and might not always win. The game is marketed towards, obviously, people who enjoy puzzle-solving games where the puzzle changes every turn. So, what's different and unusual about Clear the Decks from other warfare games or pirate games or naval warfare? So in my case, we went for just the guns. The 2 ships have closed, and it's not so much about managing the weather and the sand and the wind, and it's not about just one shot sinks a ship. I tried to use the physicalness of naval combat, and I'll be mixing in some clips from Master and Commander to demonstrate that. But in my game, there are 3 kinds of ammunition: round, chain, and grape shot. And the combinations of these and the different cannon sizes that you have are used to destroy different sections and crew of the enemy ship. So, you'll notice, we tried very hard for the artwork to be accurate. And we tried for some of the cascading game mechanics to be authentic. We also paid a lot of attention to the artwork, the uniforms for that time period. All of these flags that you see are nautical signal flags. So, for example, this is the letter O for officer cards. And I would say it's a history light game. If you know about naval warfare, you'll appreciate the details we put in. If you don't know about it, you can still play. It doesn't affect your ability to play the game. And I tried to work in some phrases that, something like false colors, which was a common ploy, or the weather gauge. This was where you had the wind at your back, so you could figure out if you wanted to fight or not. And a common phrase, through and through, that actually comes from when a cannonball would pass through both sides of the hull of an enemy ship. So we worked all that in. We made it cooperative because I wanted to represent the camaraderie and the teamwork needed to man the guns on an enemy on a man of war. The game includes 3 two-sided boards, a rule book, 216 cards, cannon tiles, and several play tokens. To set up, you choose the size of the ship you want to face, 2, 3, or 4 stacks of cards. You'll check the rules to see which number of cannon, crew, events, and structure cards go into the ship that you want to face. On their turn, each player has to match up the right combination of ammunition types and cannon size to destroy the cards on the enemy ship based on the grid on each card. I tried everything to make everything physically make sense. So for example, chain shot would really be used to need to destroy the rigging. After any destroyed cards are removed, remaining cards get to counterattack the enemy, the player guns, or add more cards to the enemy ship. I'd like to show you some of the things a player can do on their turn. In this case, the player fired these 2 guns last time. At the start, they'll ready them and they'll have them available for next turn. The 24-pounder can fire. The player looks at the cards available and sees, oh, they could use a 24-pounder with chain shot. So they'll use this, and they have a double powder tactic. So that'll let them get an extra card destroyed. In this case, we were lucky. We got rid of one of the hull cards. So this cannon flips over when it fires. Other cards they can use, an officer, the Teniente. He has an option to repel borders. So you can get rid of a borders token off of one of the cards. We have a carpenter's mate. That's another tactic. He can be used to repair the damage to a gun. So let's get rid of a damage token off of one of our cannons. And we have a marine sergeant. He can be used to remove one crew card. So let's get rid of a crew card from the enemy ship. Now the enemy gets to return fire. In this case, they have 2 cannons. And according to the attack priority card, they would fire their first at the heaviest ready gun, which in this case is the 36-pounder. And they would fire the next cannon at the next heaviest, which in this case, oh no, it's the 18-pounder. It's taken 3 shots and it's destroyed. So you would continue until you've removed the hull card from each section of the enemy ship, in which case the players win. If the enemy ship has destroyed all of every player's cannons, then the players lose.
I'm going to use Raking Shot, which allows me to use 2 ammunition with a single cannon to attack 2 enemy cannons, but I must also use my officer card. So I will use 2 round shot and my 24-pounder to attack 2 enemy cannons. I will then use Grape Shot with my 18-pounder on the main course sail, because the Clear the Decks Fortune card is in play, and I used Grape Shot that allows me to destroy any crew or boarders that are on the board, so that means I also get to destroy the lookout.
Okay, I finished my attack. Now the counterattack starts with a medium cannon, which will fire at my 36-pounder. It gets a damage token, which makes 3, and it is destroyed. The boarders will attack my lightest reloading cannon, which is my 18-pounder. And then the bulwark will add the top crew card of the deck underneath the bulwark.
Okay, I am going to ready my 24-pounder for the next round. And now I'm going to shoot at the fighting tops with my chain shot and my 18-pounder. When I remove the fighting tops, it's going to remove the nearest crew, which is the gunner's mate. When the gunner's mate goes down, it's going to cause the nearest enemy cannon not to counterattack.
On Evelyn's turn, I wanted to demonstrate some of the cascade effects that you can get when you destroy one card and you get a bonus for another card. And again, I tried to mimic the physicalness of the attacks. So if you were to knock over a mast, maybe a crewman would get hurt and he wouldn't be able to do his counterattack to you on this turn. Or if you knocked over a sail, maybe there's a cannon that can't fire. Or if you shoot through the railing, if you get to check underneath, and if there was a crew card underneath the railing, maybe you get him as a bonus. So as a quick wrap up, I'm pleased to announce that the game did fund on Kickstarter last August, and there was a follow-up Kickstarter for the playmats that funded in September. As of the making of this video, it is in production, so it'll be shipping out hopefully in June. It was nominated for Tabletop Game of the Year by Playcrafting for its BIT Awards. I've done several playcrafting events. I've also demoed the game at Gen Con, PAX Unplugged, Unpub, several other mini Unpubs, conventions in Morristown, and also at CT/FIG and Boston FIG 2 years ago. So at its core, it is a team puzzle-solving game. The artwork, the mechanics all rely heavily on the Age of Sail naval warfare theme. So I would like to thank you for taking the time to learn about my game, watch the video, and I hope you will offer me and honor the game with an invitation to be in the showcase for the 2019 Boston Festival of Indie Games. Thank you.